Hello, welcome to my channel, The Hebrew Bible. This is Moses Gumani once again, and in this video we'll talk about the verbs and nouns derived from the root Davar, Dalet Beth Resh. Now there is a verse here in 1 Kings 22 verse 13 where we have 5 different occurrences of the root Dalet Beth Resh, Davar. 2 of them are verbs and 3 of them are nouns. Let's read this. Veham malach asher halach likro Mikhayehu dibber elav lemor Hinnena divrei haneviim Pechad to el hamelech Yehina devarecha Kidvar achad mehem Vedibarta tov. Okay, now what is he saying? Well, there is a messenger that was going to call Mikhayehu. Oh, by the way, most of the theophoric names, I've touched upon the theophoric names in one of the videos. You can search for it. They end with Yahu or they begin with Yeho. Either Yeho, begin with Yeho or end with Yahu, except for one particular name, an exception, which turns out to be this one. I'm just mentioning because it just occurred in this particular verse. Mikhayehu. So Yehu occurs here. It's an exception. There is no other place where we read of any theophoric name which ends with Yehu instead of Yahu. Okay. Now let's come back to the subject, and the subject is that we have this verb dibber, right? Divrei, devarecha, kidvar, vedibarta. So the blue ones are verbs and the red ones are nouns. There's another verse in Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 28, of course, in a similar situation where we have multiple, well actually 3 verbs now and 2 nouns from the same root. Okay. Vayishma Adonai et kol divrechem bedaberechem elai vayomer Adonai elai shemati el kol divrei ha'am hazeh asher diberu elecha hetivu kol asher diberu. Okay, so now divrei, diberu, Diverechem and bedaberchem, etc. So this is a noun and that's a verb. The consonants are almost the same, slightly different. Okay, right. So we have, the lesson is that the root Dalet Beth and Resh can be a noun as Davar, or it can be a verb which again is Davar. The only difference, of course, is that the pointing, vowel pointing is different. We have a kamatz in the noun and a patach in the verb. And the verb means, the davar means he spoke. This is a katal, davar, he spoke, third masculine singular. And davar, a noun, means either a word or a thing or a speech, okay, or a matter. Davar. Right, now let's look at these 4 words which we saw in the 1 Kings verse. Dibber. Dibber is a verb in the PL, katal, third person masculine singular verb. PL conjugation, katal, PL stem, katal conjugation, and third person masculine singular. Now if you want to understand what these are, I just did a video on the verbs, the high-level overview of the verbs. If you look at part 1, you'll understand what are those conjugations, what are the stems, and how the verbs fit in there, etc. Right? And so this verb, the ber, meaning this the ber, he spoke or he uttered something. PL is intensive. So that person is third person, and not the first person, not the person opposite, but somebody else, third person masculine singular. Vedibarta, you have said. So Katal again. So Katal is past tense, like a past tense. It's actually a perfect tense or an aspect really. Second person masculine singular. It's the Dibarta. So second person. So you're talking to someone in front of you. Right. Well, the person who is talking is the one who is in front of you. Okay. Bedaberchem. Bedaberchem. Here we have a verb, but with a suffix. Chem is a second person masculine plural. Chem is plural. And this is an infinitive construct. Construct means of. So after this word there is an of in English. So that's what construct means. Again, I will do a separate video on the absolute and the construct state. Now the Beru is again PL Katal, third person masculine, plural. See the difference between the first one and the second one. If the third person masculine person speaks, a single person, we say the Ber. And if multiple people say the Beru, okay, that's the plural. Okay, if you look at the nouns, Divre means the words of, words plural, so masculine plural. Masculine is a noun. These are nouns. They are masculine and plural, but it is in the construct because of this way it is written. Divre. Construct means the words of. Devarecha. This is also in the construct, except that it is the plural. Same thing like before. Devarecha means the devare is plural. Ha is a suffix. It's a pronominal suffix, which is the second person masculine singular suffix next to the noun. Okay, and here we have Kidvar. Ke is the kaf prefix is actually a preposition, which means like, as, etc. So Kedavar is Kidvar, okay, and so you have a preposition and a masculine singular construct, but these are the construct means like the word of. That's what the meaning is. Dibrechem, Divrechem. Again, you have a second person masculine plural suffix. Wherever I have put this dash, it's a pronominal suffix at the end. So in addition to the noun, there is a suffix attached at the end, and it is in the construct because it is divre. So this is also divre, chem. This is a pronominal suffix. So this is how to understand the verbs and the nouns, etc. What we're talking about is the morphology. Now, if you go to the Blue Letter Bible, for example, and look at any particular verse in English, whichever version, if you click it, you'll get this pop-up below underneath the verse, in which you can see the Hebrew text. And if you click any one of these words, its morphology, or Hebrew parsing as they call it, will be shown, where you can see this is the root, and Divrechem is shown here with the slash. That means the word is split into two. Chem is a pronominal suffix, which is there in the second tab here. The first one is for this is a noun, and this is the pronominal suffix. So in the noun, it says this part of speech is the noun. It's a common type of noun. Gender is masculine. Number is plural. So divre, that is multiple words, plural. And it is in the construct state, which means that the words of. So you can say, and I have heard the voice of the words of these people. Here we read, Kol et kol divrei ha'am hazeh. So divrei, words of this people, ha'am hazeh. So construct of is what is indicated. So you can see the morphology of any word using Blue Letter Bible. Okay, Davar is not only a thing or a word or a matter, etc. There is slight another application of it, of course, by pointing it differently. Dever, if you say dever, It could be a plague or a pestilence. You can find it in Psalm 91, the same word. Of course, without the vowels in the old text, you could read it just as the same. Therefore, you have multiple meanings here. How did these multiple meanings arise, and what is the underlying connection is, of course, a matter of speculation. Some people think there is no connection whatsoever, which I don't think is the case. There will be connections, except that, so many thousands of years after, we can't really tell how these things have got, how these words have been derived. Anyway, so another thing that I wanted to mention is that midbar, of course, is not directly related to the word davar, either verb or noun. It means wilderness. However, there is a similar verb, medabber. Medabber means speaking. Of course, it is pointed differently, but without the pointing, you could see it could be a verb medabber, speaking, participle, I think this one, and midbar means wilderness, and therefore people join and link these together and say, hey, in the wilderness you will hear God speaking. Well, sort of sounds nice, because obviously God brought the children of Israel from Egypt into the wilderness before they entered the land of Canaan, and it was in the wilderness that he showed them great miracles. In fact, he talked to them in the wilderness in Sinai. The Torah was given in the wilderness. So the call, that the word or the voice of the Lord was spoken, was heard in the wilderness. Okay, so that's what it is. I thought I'd make a quick video on this particular route. Please do like the video if you did indeed like this video, and subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon, and please do make your comments below in the comment section, and I will see you again in the next video. Thank you very much.